Welcome to a Linus Tech Tips unboxing. Today we've got the Life-Phorm, P-H-O-R-M, and we've also got a very different setup. So here's something like crazy going on right now. So we have a B-roll camera. We're going to switch to that right now. See? B-roll camera for close-ups. Let's have a close look at the box of the Life-Phorm. So the Life-Phorm is trying to replace any smartphone, tablet, or camera holder that you have already and just do whatever that does and better. So I'll give you a couple examples of the sorts of products that we're trying to replace here. So here's a tablet stand. This is actually a pretty good tablet stand. You can rotate it into portrait or landscape mode. You can rotate. Whoa, okay, see, it falls out if you do that, but that's not really the recommended way to use it. That is right there. And then it also seeks to replace stuff like this. So here is sort of one of those portable tripods that you can throw your camera on and you can easily take a picture. You can't do things like sort of portrait shots or anything like that. You can't clip it to things. So the Life-Phorm tries to be a pretty unique approach to this in that here, I'm just going to open up the box. Mounts anything, and it's extremely flexible. So inside the box you find only a couple things. You got a manual here that shows you how to mount smartphones, tablets, cameras, as well as just gives you sort of an index of all of the different stuff that should be inside the box. You got a piece of foam over the top, and then you've got the Life-Phorm itself. So you just pop that out there, and it's a pretty neat little device. So here's where you would mount. So at the start it comes with the phone mount, obviously, as you can see, and it's got 6 legs. So these 6 legs are made of plastic, but they're kind of a reinforced plastic. They do feel quite strong. The joints are tight, and they are adjustable. So you can see they've all got screws on them. So if they get too loose or if you feel like they're too tight, you can adjust them so that they have as much stickiness as you want. Remember, you want it to be a little sticky because you want to put these in place and you want them to stay there. They bend in 3 different places. So they all bend here, see, like that. They all have one joint right up at the very top, and then they all have a second joint a little bit further away, kind of like a hand. And then at the end, in order to grab onto things, there's these little rubberized hooks that are not going to damage anything, but they should allow it to kind of clamp onto stuff. So some of the examples that the manufacturer gives are, you know, clipping it to a tree to take a portrait picture with your camera, hanging it to the edge of a ramp on a skate park so you can get like cool footage of yourself going over. This I'm not sure if I'd recommend, but that's on the windscreen of a boat and a bike. A treadmill's probably fine, and then they've got a couple more examples here, including the back of a headrest and then a pregnant woman's belly. Actually, I think it's a pillow, and I don't think she's pregnant, but ha 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 ha. Very funny, right? So I want to show you guys all 3 different mounting mechanisms because they're kind of clever. So there's 2 nuts at the back. One of them is a metal one. So this one you have to kind of really go at it with your fingers, and it's a little bit tough. And then the other one's a plastic one. So the plastic one loosens the sliding mount. So that's how you're going to expand it to the maximum, which will allow you to mount. Let's see, can I get an iPhone in there? Nope, we're going to want to do an iPhone this way. So it allows you to mount sort of a smartphone. So then all you do is you put this back into place like that, make it nice and tight so it's not going anywhere, and then you can do crazy things like here. I'm going to go around the front of the table and clip it to the front of the table. And that's not going to go anywhere in theory. So you can take these ones and you can bring, okay, you know what? Let's clip it to something more interesting. Let's clip it to the cat tree. So this is sort of like their tree example, where you just take all these legs and you grab it onto there, or you can hang it off the edge of something. Just sort of neat. Just kind of go like this and then sort of clamp it up there. There you go. So if you want to put it on your homemade, whoops, there we go, cat tree, then that would also work. There we go, grab around the back there. Actually, it's kind of neat. So once you get it positioned correctly, it's not bad at all. So I want to give you guys another close-up of the rubberized grippy parts here so that you can get some idea of whether your stuff's going to get damaged or not. So you can see there's actually like a super soft, super sticky grip all inside the insides of these hooks as well as on the back here. So you don't have to worry about your fragile electronics getting damaged. So this guy right here allows us to take the screw out completely, and then what we can do is we can go ahead and open the whole thing up in order to get compatibility for larger devices such as tablets. All you got to do is take it, throw it back onto the Life-Phorm claw, screw the metal screw back in first until it goes all the way, and you can tell it has a bit of a feel to it, like you feel it, sort of. Okay, and then you throw your tablet into the clamps and then tighten them up, which is easy as long as you don't accidentally do up the plastic one all the way. Okay, and then you tighten up the plastic nut. So now that you've done that, your tablet is mounted to the Life-Phorm. So you can go ahead and, like I said, easy replacement for something like this, because you are now ready to mount your tablet and, you know, watch a little movie or do whatever it is you want to do. You can also easily adjust it so that you can sit it sort of the other way or whatever else. You can rotate it. Actually, it's probably easier to just rotate the tablet. That's whatever. Okay, the point is it's flexible. The point is you can take it now, you can clip it onto the back of something, and it's not really going to go anywhere. Last thing that you can mount to it with these is a camera. So we're going to replace that tripod-y mount thing that we got going on there. For this, you take off, there we go, you take this off completely, and then this is threaded correctly for the bottom of a camera. So that's not going to work yet until I actually have a camera to put on it. So this is a pretty standard mount that you'll find on any sort of half-decent camera. So you just put that through there, put that into the bottom of the camera, and now you are ready to do sort of crazy things with your camera, like mount it wherever it is you want it to go. So yeah, let's go back to sort of their example. Is it actually good enough to do this? So let's see if the picture on the box is just outright deceptive, or if this can actually work. Can that do that? Yeah, look at that. There you go. You can like zoom in and stuff, should you so desire. See? Very neat, actually. I think that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you for checking out this unboxing and first look at the Life-Phorm mount for tablets, smartphones, and cameras. Don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips for more unboxings, reviews, and other computer videos. And since we have our fancy B-roll camera, I'm going to get our cameraman to come in here and take like a nice sort of like spinning shot of our Lazy Susan, which is also a new addition to our set. And don't forget to subscribe.